What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Today I'm going to be showing off a crazy Blastoise-GX Inteleon deck that can one-hit KO the biggest Pokemon VMAX and Tag Team Pokemon GX in the Pokemon trading card game. Let's take a look at the list. This deck is a ton of fun to play and centers around Blastoise-GX with the Rocket Splash attack, which allows you to shuffle any amount of water energy from your Pokemon back into your deck, and it deals 60 damage for each card you shuffled into your deck in this way. So if you're shuffling 6 energy from your board back into the deck, you're going to be dealing 360 damage, easily one-hit KOing anything that the Pokemon trading card game may throw your way. It's also got the amazing Solid Shell ability, which makes it take 30 less damage from attacks, which is very relevant in the Pokemon TCG right now, since a boosted Brave Blade from Zacian V is going to be dealing 260 damage after an Altered Creation GX, meaning that Blastoise GX can survive that. So a very solid attacker and one of the few Stage 2 Pokemon GX that still remain in our standard format. To pair with Blastoise, we have got Blastoise from Team Up with the powerful Squall ability, which allows you to look at the top 6 cards of your deck once during your turn and attach any number of water energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. And you can do this multiple times a turn if you've got multiple Blastoise set up. So you're going to be using powerful Squall to power up your Blastoise's Rocket Splash attack. The cool thing about this deck, as opposed to the Frostmoth version of Blastoise GX, is that you can actually use powerful Squall to accelerate water energy onto your Mewtwo and Mew-GX as well. So we do play a copy of Mewtwo and Mew, since Perfection allows Mewtwo and Mew to use the attacks of any Pokemon GX on your bench or in your discard pile. So if your Blastoise GX goes down, you can always use powerful Squall to accelerate energy onto Mewtwo and Mew and announce a huge Rocket Splash attack from a basic Pokemon, which is very good. To help set the deck up, we do have a 2/2/2 Inteleon line, and Inteleon is really cool to play in this deck. It's got the Shady Dealings ability, which allows you to search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards when you evolve your Drizzile into Inteleon. So we love this ability here. Helps to get your Blastoises into play, helps to grab you game-winning bosses orders, reset stamps, things like that. It's also a great attacker against non-GX decks. Aqua Bullet deals 120 damage for 2 energy and snipes 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So that's very good. Obviously, the Drizzile is awesome as well. It's also got the Shady Dealings ability. It's like a Shady Dealings Light. It allows you to get just 1 trainer card out of your deck instead of the 2 that Inteleon offers. So we do love those cards there. Oranguru is amazing paired with the powerful Squall ability, since you can use Primate Wisdom to put a water energy from your hand onto the top of your deck, and then powerful Squall to find that energy there in the top 6 cards and accelerate it onto your Pokemon. Oranguru is also great for just putting the Rare Candy Stage 2 combination together. You can use Primate Wisdom to put a Rare Candy onto the other side of your deck so that when you research, you'll draw back into the Rare Candy and maybe then find the Blastoise that you were looking for. This deck is a lot of fun to play, and I love the Keldeo-GX in here as well. The Resolute Blade GX, very good against Eternatus VMAX, but also Sonic Edge can be useful in a pinch, and the Pure Heart ability could be useful in specific situations. One of my favorite things about this water deck is that it's not weak to lightning. That's right, this water deck is not weak to lightning. Blastoise GX weak to grass. Let's go. Picarom's not going to be one-hit KOing our water attackers. We love to see it. Keldeo-GX weak to grass. Mewtwo and Mew weak to Psychic. So we've got no lightning weak attackers in the deck. It can easily dispose of Decidueye decks as well, since you can actually just attack with your Blastoise. You can attack with your Inteleon. It's a very versatile deck, and one of the few decks that I've been able to find in standard format that doesn't really need Dedenne or Jirachi in order to set up. We've just got 1 copy of Crobat V with the Dark Asset ability, which can be useful in a pinch to go for a game-winning play. It's usually what the Crobat V is going to be doing in here, but you don't really need to use it all the time. Sometimes the Crobat will be nice to help set the deck up, but once you can get a Sobble or a Drizzile into play and a couple of Blastoises, the deck really operates off the board, which is something that's really cool about the deck. And I love the inclusion of Mewtwo and Mew in here. Just in case your Blastoise goes down, you can accelerate onto Mewtwo and Mew and still take a huge game-winning one-hit KO. So that's it, the Blastoise Inteleon deck. Check out the deck in action. Let me know, what do you think of this Blastoise Inteleon deck in the comments below. Looks like I am going first, and I am up against Snorlax, my dear's Eternatus VMAX deck, which we actually covered here on the channel the other day. So we have got quite the challenge ahead of us. We do have Primate Wisdom here. I do have Crobat as well, so I can actually start to set this deck up. I feel like I want to Primate Wisdom the Inteleon into the deck since I don't actually need it. Then I can use Evolution Incense to kind of thin or not thin, to kind of rearrange the deck since I don't want to see the Inteleon yet. I'm kind of thinking to myself, do I want to save one of these Evolution Incenses or should I just burn them both? I think I can afford to burn them both here and then just Crobat for 5 and draw as many cards as we can. Sure enough, we do find a Sobble, and I've got an Ordinary Rod, a Blastoise, and a Research. So I'm thinking that we are just going to hang tight here, see if maybe Snorlax, my dear, hits a hammer on maybe my water energy, and I can actually get some use out of this Ordinary Rod. Actually, I can use a Oranguru. We're just going to toss the Ordinary Rod onto the other side of the Research. That seems fine since we are going to want to get some use out of this card. So Snorlax has got just the 30 damage there and the Power Accelerator guaranteeing themselves nice bonus energy attachment. We probably want to save the Ordinary Rod, so I'm thinking that I'm just going to attach this energy to Squirtle and Primate Wisdom the Ordinary Rod onto the other side of this Research and then just play the Research. We do have Switch as well. I could just go for it. I think we're just going for it. Yeah, switch into the Squirtle. What's the worst that could happen? And see what we end up drawing here. We do have a Blastoise. We do have an Evolution Incense. So I can go and evolve and get ourselves... I could get a Rare Candy. I'm almost to a Rare Candy Blastoise. We're not quite there. All right, so we can go here. We can Evolution Incense, get ourselves a Drizzile. It's definitely something that we want. We can go here, and we're going to Drizzile and get ourselves an item card. We can go get ourselves a Rare Candy. We're going to grab that. We're going to Rare Candy this Blastoise here on the bench. And then I think we are going to probably try to Squall first and see what happens. So I think I'm just going to Quick Ball away the Mewtwo. I don't want to go Mewtwo in this game because I know that Snorlax plays Power Plants, so we're not going to want to go that route. It's just not in the cards for us. So we're going to want another one of these, and then I'm going to want to get as many energy as I can back into the deck. So I think I'm probably going to retreat into the Oranguru just to kind of protect my boys over here. We're going to put the Squirtle down. I'm going to use Ordinary Rod. We're going to do both. Shovel probably just the Blastoise and the Inteleon back into the deck. And then we're going to throw 2 waters back into the deck as well. And then we're going to start trying to Squall. So we got 3 energies off that Squall. It's pretty sick. We can put those energies onto Squirtle. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then just pass it on over to Snorlax, and we're in a pretty good spot with a bunch of energy in play. So we're hoping that Snorlax doesn't just have the boss here. That would be bad, and gust up one of my Squirtles and just end it. Looks like that is what they have. So they're just going to take that knockout. Now I've got quite the challenge ahead of me this next turn. We're going to promote Squirtle and see if we can't get some good stuff going on. Now I can... We've got the Inteleon, but I think I'm out of Evolution Incense in the deck, so I don't think I can go get myself the Blastoise. Unfortunately, I can put the Primate Wisdom. That's what we're going to do. We're going to Primate Wisdom. We're going to put the Inteleon onto the other side, but I think I probably want to Squall first and see how many energy I'm looking at. Or I could attach, just do the Primate Wisdom, Research. I think Research, and then we are going to thin the deck more before we end up going in. So we're going to go here, put the Inteleon on the other side. We find Drizzile, that's fine. We're going to Research and see what we end up drawing over here. We do have just 1 energy, so that's cool. We can go Inteleon and then get ourselves the Rare Candy that we want. And then I can also thin 1 other card out of the deck. So I'm thinking... I probably can get Quick Ball. That can thin like 1 more card out of the deck, so that's probably pretty good. So we're going to do that. We can get ourselves the Rare Candy into Blastoise, and then I need to squall for a bunch. It's just what we're looking at. So let's go here, get rid of that. See, we grab ourselves Keldeo. Seems good. Powerful Squall, hit 3. Insane deck. Yeah, just throw those all onto the Blastoise there. And then we Rocket Splash for a one-hit KO on Eternatus VMAX. Wow, that worked good. I liked that. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and Rocket Splash for 6. And we take a huge one-hit KO on that Eternatus VMAX. Just absolutely 360 damage. It's so crazy. So crazy. And what's even wilder about this is that I've got the Keldeo-GX on my bench as well. So even if an Eternatus VMAX gets built up and is able to threaten my Blastoise GX, I just still have the Keldeo here on my bench that we can power up and use Resolute Blade GX as an option for us. So we'll see if Snorlax is able to respond to the Blastoise this turn. It's asking a lot, absolutely, because of just because of the pressure that we've put on with our Blastoise so far. And I think the Snorlax is just in a little bit of an odd situation where it's like, okay, you don't want to. What's cool is I love this play. We get to actually Primate Wisdom, a water onto the top of the deck, and then we can guaranteed Squall for like at least 1. So I do like that. We got 3 more actually. So we're gonna go and throw 3 onto the Blastoise GX, and then I can throw 1 more energy down into play, and then I can discard. Let's see if we're gonna go boss, and I can just swing into the Eternatus, or I could just boss and knock out. I feel like I might as well just swing into the Eternatus. Like, we just bring this thing up. I know that this is their attacker, right? And then we can just Rocket Splash for 3. It just does like a solid 180, leaves us in a pretty good spot. I think we just actually leave 1 just in case they gust my Blastoise and knock it out. I want to be able to attack, so we're going to deal 120 here. But 120, and then if I discard 3, that's 120 plus 180, it's not enough. So I guess we probably should just go 180, and then that's fine. I could Giant Geyser, attach any water cards from my hand to my Pokemon. I like that, yeah. We're just actually going all in. Yeah, 4 energy down. That's fine. And then if I have to Giant Geyser next turn, we have to Giant Geyser next turn. I think just unloading on the Eternatus is probably a decent spot to be in. The worst case scenario is that Snorlax has a boss again on my only Blastoise. They were able to put some pressure onto my Blastoise earlier in the game, which was tough, and it looks like that's probably what they're doing again this turn. So I do have a Squirtle here that we can bench and just Marnie, and then I'm hoping that I draw into more energy so that then I can Giant Geyser GX and put some more energy into play. But the fear there, if I do Giant Geyser GX, the fear is that, then I can't use Keldeo-GX. So we're going to see if, if we can kind of march this back. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, they've got it. The 180, they had to bench the Crobat for no effect, but they are going to take that knockout on the Blastoise there, leaving us in a little bit of a precarious situation. So we've got the Squirtle, which is fine. Aqua Bullet, maybe Aqua Bullet's so close to taking a knockout on that thing. Actually, a water drop on this 120 would do it. So yeah, we're actually going to drop a water onto the Inteleon. Seems totally fine. Go here, and then I can Primate Wisdom. Let's just kind of thin the deck, take a look at what we got, and we've got like a healthy amount of water left in the deck, absolutely. So the Inteleon really is game here. So we're going to put them in a situation where they have to boss up my Inteleon and KO it, or else I'm going to potentially end the game with boss's orders on their Eternatus VMAX. So sure enough, this is the play that we have, and I'm just going to leave this thing active, and I've got game next turn with Inteleon. If they don't use their 3rd boss's orders, oh, they've got Hammer. Okay, saved for a turn, because I'm trying to build up game here with the Inteleon. So I think that we could just go probably Blastoise GX and Giant Geyser, enough energy into play this next turn is probably what we're looking at. and then just still trying to figure out game using the Inteleon and the boss's orders to take that. My opponent does have 3 prizes remaining, which of course is a little bit stressful. I think we're just going to put the Squirtle up into the, or the Blastoise. No, force my opponent to, yes, force them to actually do something with the Eternatus. And we're actually going to use the Giant Geyser GX to accelerate a bunch of energy into play. So we're going to go here and we're going to Giant Geyser, and I'm going to put an energy here onto Inteleon, an energy here onto Inteleon, and I'm going to put another energy onto my active. And the idea is that we are just trying to shore up game on this Eternatus VMAX. I need them to not hit this. That's really bad. Now I need to top deck a water energy or research into the water energy to have it on the Eternatus VMAX, because they have to attack me with the active. So the Inteleon, if I could just find one more water for that Inteleon, we can finish off the game on this Eternatus VMAX. So I've got research to get the water energy if we need to. I didn't want to overload the Inteleon, then they could have maybe just used their boss's orders to take the knockout. So we are in a situation where it's research or bust, and the Inteleon could finish off the game for us here against Eternatus. Can we find that last water energy we need? And sure enough, there it is. Well played, Snorlax. Absolutely. And we've got Aqua Bullet for the knockout with Inteleon. And the Blastoise deck worked. This is the first time I played it. That's crazy. It's literally, I just built the deck like 10 minutes ago, and it worked. That's absolutely nuts. I can't believe it. What a busted deck. Going first against what might be ADP Zacian, we've got an excellent opening hand. I can go Rare Candy into Inteleon to help us set up some more stuff. However, we're just a little bit like resource jammed here. So we're trying to figure out, you know, what is the best way for us to play this hand. Are we even going to want to bother with the Rare Candy into Inteleon? I think I kind of am leaning like, you know, Rare Candy into Inteleon is probably pretty good for us. We definitely want to get a Squirtle. We know that. So I'm probably just chilling here. Next turn, we go Rare Candy into Inteleon, and then draw some more cards. And then Inteleon can get us Rare Candy into Blastoise, and we can just go there. I think that seems reasonable. I could Quick Ball away the research, but that doesn't quite make sense. So I think probably just sitting here, and that's going to be fine. We'll see what happens this next turn. Potentially can Crobat next turn, do some things, but we do have guaranteed turn 2 Blastoise in this hand. So hopefully my opponent doesn't go turn 1 Alter Creation GX. It's really just the only thing we're hoping for. I don't have any liabilities in my hand that my opponent can take down with Mawile GX, so that's good for us. And they are playing Clay DP. So Clay DP is the very aggressive ADP deck. They did discard a bunch of Pokemon and no energies, so that does play to our advantage. And we're hoping that they don't get the turn 1 energy drop on the ADP. Looks like they are going to be using Quick Ball. They got the Metal Energy in the discard pile. So if they have Energy Switch, I know they have Saucer because they grabbed it off of the Clay. Looks like maybe they're going to Day change. They've got the Saucer, and they're just going to let the rest of the Sam rip with a Dedenne would be my guess. Energy Switch because they're thinning the ADP out of their deck. Yep, here comes the Quick Ball. And I expect we're going to see a Dedenne come down. Or a Crobat or something like that. Yes, thinning the Zigzagoon out of the deck. And they're looking for the water energy. They want Spinner. The Spinner would certainly help. This deck does play a lot of energy spinners, so we do expect that, you know, they probably can get it. It would be great if they just have to Intrepid Sword, and they do. All right, so we've got another turn under our belts. This is very, very good for us. Also, my opponent has no idea that that Zigzagoon actually would have been very good against my deck. But, you know, to my opponent, it doesn't really look like I got too much going on right now, so I can't really blame them. I think we want to go Rare Candy into Blastoise, definitely. That is for sure. And then I have Rare Candy into Inteleon, but is that... yeah, I guess that's probably something that I want to do. Or I could go get a Oranguru, push the... I think I actually like that. Go get a Oranguru, push the Rare Candy onto the other side of the research. And that way we get to save the Rare Candy for something else. Maybe draw a Drizzile. I know my opponent doesn't have it, you know, or have the water or what they need or whatever there. So I'm not, you know, terribly concerned about what they've got going on over there. We're going to put this here. I can use Ordinary Rod to put an Inteleon back into the deck. Probably not worth it. So I'm just going to go Powerful Squall. Get 3 water energies off that Squall. Big Squall. Big Squall. Love it. So we're going to put energies there on the Squirtle. Energies here on the Blastoise. And we're just having ourselves a good old turn. So next turn, we're going to push a little bit further. Probably Rare Candy, you know, Primate Wisdom, Rare Candy onto the other side. If they go Alter Creation, they do get the energy spin. Wow, they top deck the energy spinners. Like, so they were 1 card away from having the Alter Creation this last turn. And they're just going to Clay again. I know they're going to have a massive hand. So this next turn, I'm probably going to, you know, Reset Stamp. Would make the most sense, since I do think that they're probably going to Alter Creation. I know that their hand is crazy, just filled with stuff. So I do want to knock out the ADP this turn with a Blastoise-GX. That is the major goal. And we're hoping that, you know, some combination of maybe a Drizzile out of the deck, and there we go. Excellent. We've got it. Okay, so I can go. I could Rare Candy into Inteleon, but yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. We're just going to go get the Blastoise. Absolutely. So we're going to go get Blastoise-GX. We're going to Rare Candy into the Blastoise-GX. And then I don't want to actually Ordinary Rod the Inteleon into the deck. I will stamp my opponent. And I think we're just going to attach the energy to the active Sobble, so that if worse comes to worse, I can retreat it. And then we're going to research. And what's cool is I can, if we drew into a water, I was going to say we could Primate Wisdom a water onto the top of the deck. We actually have the guaranteed knockout here, so that rocks. And let's see if there's anything else that I actually want to push for. I don't want to actually Squall before you Squall. We can put the Mewtwo down. That's fine. Yeah, and we're going to Squall. You Squall before you use Primate Wisdom, because you don't want to put any of these cards on top of the deck. So that's cool. And then I can Primate Wisdom, and we can see, just put maybe a Marnie on top of the deck, since I already have a Marnie in my hand. And we find a Quick Ball, which is really good. So we can Quick Ball away the Keldeo-GX, and I don't think that I'm going to be using that. Get ourselves another Squirtle, and we're going to put the Squirtle down, switch into Blastoise, and now I'm using Rocket Splash for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that is a 1-hit knockout. So we're going to be dealing 300 damage to the ADP. Absolutely insane Blastoise-GX style, and because of its solid shell ability, we know that the Zacian is not going to be able to knock it out this next turn. My opponent did discard their Galarian Zigzagoon, so unless they rod the Zigzagoon back into the deck, because they're dealing 260 damage, which means that they're only going to be dealing 230 damage to my Blastoise. Same with the Mewtwo. Mewtwo also is resisting a 1-hit KO here, 270 HP, so the Zigzagoon might have been pretty good there against that. We do have a pretty solid board state going on right now. Swell we could play. We've got a Boss's Orders too. I can Squall an energy onto the top of the deck. I might just attach this energy, Marnie, and then, see what we're looking like from a powerful Squall. See if I can't thin any more cards from my deck. Maybe draw into a Drizzile. Get more trainer cards out of the deck would be very good for us. My opponent is using Data Change. Wow, 7 cards left in deck. All 4 saucers in the discard pile. They cannot afford to bring the Zacian up into the active position. If they do, I could theoretically knock it out. Looks like they do find the Ordinary Rod, so they can put the Zigzagoon back into the deck. I think realizing here, the Zigzagoon is going to be very good. So they're definitely going to want that. They can knock out my Blastoise-GX. However, if they knock out the Blastoise-GX, I can just respond with Mewtwo at this point. We don't actually need to... actually take our knockouts with the Blastoise-GX. But the Blastoise-GX resisting a knockout against Zacian's insane. We've got double Squall now. This is exactly where we want to be. Perfect board state. And I know that my opponent's Zigzagoon is in their deck, so I want to be a little bit wary of that, because they will be able to take a knockout on my Blastoise. However, I think here we can just safely Marnie, and I get to Squall twice, which is absolutely insane. We've got the perfect setup. I've got Inteleon and now a Drizzile coming down onto the Sobble, so we are going to go and thin our deck even further, putting more trainers from the deck into our hand. So yes, we're going to go get ourselves some good stuff. What do we want? It's probably, I've already got a boss in my hand, which is really good. We can go get ourselves, honestly, the Inteleon, yeah, this is all good. So we're just going to go grab a Marnie in case I need it. Thin that out of the deck. I can Primate Wisdom the water onto the top of the deck. We can use Powerful Squall 1, and we're going to accelerate 2 energy into play with that onto the Mewtwo and Mew. And then we're going to Squall again, and we're going to get 3 energy onto Mewtwo and Mew, and then just elsewhere. Honestly, safe. Just put it somewhere safe. And we have a 1-hit KO guaranteed on Zacian. My opponent had all 4 saucers in the discard pile, and that's checkmate. We're going first, and we've got the turn 2 Blastoise already in our hand, so that is pretty cool. And I'm thinking that we probably just want to line up our hand with another Squirtle. Just get as many of those into play as we can. We're probably going to be ditching the Drizzile. A little bit unfortunate, but that's fine. So let's just go grab the Squirtle. And then next turn, we're going to go Rare Candy, the benched one, into Blastoise, and then see if maybe I can't get another Rare Candy into Blastoise for the active. Playing against a fire deck. It's actually Baby Blacephalon. So this is really interesting. We can theoretically win this game, but I'm going to need to do weird stuff, like attack with Blastoises, attack with Inteleons, and all that kind of madness. So we might end up just using Marnie this next turn. Marnie is going to be our best friend. You can see that my opponent does have a lot of 2 prizers in play, which is very good for us. So we like to see that. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have Welder Double Fire right here. They are attaching the Blacephalon. They just got Intrepid Sword. They did have to data change 2 Fire Crystals to get out of that opening hand. So that plays to our advantage. I actually, yeah, really like this. We've got that right there, and I can just Marnie my opponent's hands since they did just draw a ton of cards. And we've got Sobble and Rare Candy Blastoise GX. I mean, I could just see if we get lucky, if we're just feeling lucky here. You just Squall for 3. I think we've got Squall for 3. Squall for 2, though. Not bad. So we're just going to load those energies onto Blastoise. And then I'm not going to Rocket Splash. No point in doing that. We're just going to chill here. And hopefully my opponent doesn't have the, you know, Welder Double Fire knock out my Blastoise GX. If I could at least get like one more turn here while we try to, oh geez, while we try to draw out of, you know, this Marnie-induced chaos that we have, that would be great. They do have the Air Balloon as well. Air Balloon makes me wonder, do they play Jirachi even, or is this just like a Dedenne Crobat? This is just Dedenne Crobat Baby Blacephalon, which is craziness. So odds are they're going to be able to take the knockout on this Blastoise GX because they are just going to be gassing the deck out, you know, nonstop. I mean, it's going to be all Dedenne's, Crobats, things like that. Obviously, they got Great Balls. They just need to get, what, 6 fire energy? Yeah, it's guaranteed here on the Blastoise. So they're definitely going to have it. And then I have to see if I can respond to this. That is a lot of pressure. 220. Ah, they were short. Excellent. Not quite there. Love to see it because of the solid shell ability. So we're going to go here and just research. Seems nice. Research off the top. Love to see that. Feels very good. We can go there. And then I will have the knockout on this thing. I do have Pokemon Communication as well. So we're going to Pokemon Communicate the Blastoise. Don't need that. For another Squirtle. Or no, for Drizzile, right? We want Drizzile. Drizzile seems cool. Yeah, Drizzile takes, you know, eventually we'll take 1-hit knockouts. And then we're going to go here. We're going to get Yes. And we're going to get ourselves an Evolution Incense. Because next turn I'm just going to want to get an Inteleon. And we're going to go here. And we're going to go Squall for 1. It's cool. Get down with the Squall for 1. And then I'm just going to put that onto Sobble, and we're going to turn the deck into just an Inteleon deck. That's just, well, Inteleon Blastoise is what, we're going to be doing here. So we're going to Rocket Splash, get rid of one of those on the active, and see if my opponent can respond. I can't believe they whiffed it. Oh, that's great. Blastoise-GX is barely hanging on there, thanks to its solid shell ability, which rocks. I mean, we'd love to see that. Keldeo-GX is like fine over here. It's got 170 HP, so I don't have to worry about it getting spit shot or anything. And my opponent does have just a ton of energy and a ton of retrievals in the discard pile, which makes me think that they are not going to have the energy that they need to be able to finish off this game and be able to win. And I think that that is one of the dangers of playing a Jirachi-less version. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Can you build Baby Blacephalon without Jirachis and just build it in this like turboed out fashion? I think it's really cool to see. It's very interesting, but I think we do run into some dangers there with just the resources. The resource crunch becomes really intense. So we do have Inteleon and Drizzile. We're just going to be getting a ton of resources out of our deck. We can go Drizzile, and I do want a boss this turn so that we can take multiple prizes. And we're also going to go here, and I think I do also want a Quick Ball so that we can set up another Squirtle. Seems really good. And then I also want Pokemon Communication. Seems good. We're just going to go here, get this out of the way, and go get ourselves Squirtle, which is exactly what we want. And we're going to go there, and I'm going to attach this to the, well, we'll Squall first, see what we're into with Squall. I'm definitely thinking that I want to boss this turn. So Squall, we get one off the Squall, go to the active, and then we're going to go here. I'm going to boss up the Crobat. And we're going to Rocket Splash 1, 2, and 3 off of the Drizzile to take 2 prizes, set ourselves up to be in a pretty dominant spot. We've got Switch now. That's good. I can easily pivot into Inteleon, and Inteleon's just going to be easily knocking out Blacephalon, so we do like to have that thing loaded up. And I do love that this deck just kind of has some built-in non-GX attackers in Inteleon, right? So we can easily deal with Decidueye decks. We got 160 HP, we deal 120 damage, snipe 20, it's very good. And we do have Ordinary Rod, so we can throw those things back into the deck if we want to. Blastoise, oh yeah, Blastoise also actually just one-hit KOs Decidueye. So like, look at all of these attackers that we have that can handle Decidueyes, Alterias, and the like. And then Blastoise, the 2-prize Pokemon that just refuses to go down, right? I mean, it's just got an insane amount of HP here. My opponent just absolutely stalled out trying to Blazer for the knockout on the Blastoise, just kind of clearing the way for us to be able to just take the rest of the game. So like to see that. I'm going to switch into Inteleon at this point. Guaranteed knockout there. Like to see it. Drizzile. And at this point, I can just Marnie. It's fine. And go into the remainder of the deck. We do have Rare Candy Blastoise, so I can go grab the other Squall boy out of the deck. I think I've prized my other Inteleon. We are going to grab a Squall, and we can go Rare Candy into Squally. And then we are just good to Squall to our heart's content. We can just Squall as much as we want all over the board. Let's see, Squall here, none, cool. Aqua Bullet takes the knockout, and we're going to soften up, I guess, a Dedenne with the Air Balloon. Seems good. And we'll see if maybe we pull our Inteleon here. That'd be great. Got a Quick Ball instead. It's fine. Inteleon would be sick because we could go get ourselves the game-winning boss's orders out of the deck, which we would certainly love to do. But I think at this point, I'm thinking that my opponent is probably a little stalled out with the Baby Blacephalon deck. They do still have 2 Welders, but are they going to be able to discard 4 energy to knock out the Inteleon? Probably not, and that is game with our Blastoise Inteleon deck. And that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell, and of course, check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where I stream live Pokemon trading card game content every single weekday. If you've got extra cards lying around the house, make sure to check out FullGripGames.com. We are always buying bulk, singles, you name it, at the shop here at Full Grip Games, and selling your cards to Full Grip Games directly supports the content I create here on Tricky Jim. That's it. Y'all take it easy and have a great day. Peace.